Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most influential superhero shows ever made.
The Batman, the animated series.
That's right. And it premiered over 30 years ago, but it's still just as powerful and relevant as ever.
It really is.
We've got some awesome research and excerpts lined up so we can really dissect what made this show so groundbreaking and why, it's still inspiring filmmakers and artists today.
It's incredible how much of a legacy it's left.
For sure. So I guess, let's start with the basics. Why Batman? Why is this character, this story, so enduringly captivating?
Well, I think it's Batman's complexity, right? This show really went deep into his psychology. That trauma of witnessing his parents' murder as a child. The struggle, the darkness he carries with him.
It's heavy stuff, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's also what makes him so relatable in a way. We all deal with our own inner demons, right? Maybe not on the same scale as Batman, but we all have those internal conflicts.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Bruce Wayne in all of us?
Maybe. But this show actually flips that on its head, right? It presents the idea that Bruce Wayne is the mask, that Batman is his true self, which is pretty fascinating when you think about it.
That's such a great point. Like, it makes you think about the roles we play in our own lives, right? The different faces we put on for different people.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the psychology down, but we can't talk about Batman, the animated series, without talking about the look of the show. I mean, it's visually stunning.
It's iconic. It's what they call dark deco.
Dark deco. For those of us who maybe aren't art historians, what exactly does that mean?
Well, think about those old film noir movies. Lots of shadows, dark alleys, a sense of mystery.
Gotcha, yeah.
Combine that with the sleek lines and geometric shapes of Art Deco architecture. That's dark deco. And it created this Gotham City that felt, well, both familiar and dangerous at the same time.
And that music. Don't even get me started on the music.
Oh, the music is incredible. Shirley Walker's score, with its orchestral sound, it just elevates the entire series. It gives it this cinematic weight that you wouldn't typically expect from a cartoon.
Exactly. It's like you're not just watching a cartoon, you're watching a movie. Every episode feels like a mini movie.
And speaking of cinematic, we can't forget about the voice acting.
Oh, the voice acting. Kevin Conroy, I mean, he was Batman.
He was the definitive Batman voice for an entire generation.
Yeah.
The gravitas he brought to the role, the depth of emotion.
And then you had Mark Hamill as the Joker. I mean, come on, pure genius.
Absolutely. He just nailed that manic energy, but with this chillingly dark undercurrent. It's what made his Joker so iconic, so unforgettable.
It's a shame we lost Kevin Conroy recently.
It is, but his legacy as Batman will live on forever.
Absolutely. Those two set the bar incredibly high for voice acting and animation, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Kevin Conroy, the longtime voice of Batman, has died. His representative confirmed that he died yesterday after a short battle with cancer. Kevin Conroy was 66.
And another thing that really sets this show apart is the villains.
The villains, yeah.
They're not just one-dimensional bad guys.
Right.
Right? They have depth, they have motivations, they have, in some cases, even tragic backstories.
Yeah, the writers really took these classic Batman villains and fleshed them out in ways we hadn't really seen before.
Like, take Mr. Freeze, that episode, Heart of Ice. It completely reframed him.
It did. He wasn't just some guy with a freeze ray anymore. He was this brilliant scientist driven to extremes by love and loss. It made you question, who the real villain was in that story.
Right. It made you feel for him, even while he was committing these terrible crimes.
Exactly.
And then, you still had those classic larger-than-life villains, too, like Catwoman and the Joker, who had these complex, constantly shifting dynamics with Batman.
Oh, for sure. Sometimes adversarial, sometimes almost, flirty. It was always interesting.
It kept you guessing. And it wasn't just this black and white, good versus evil thing. It was all shades of gray.
Absolutely. A lot of moral ambiguity, which I think really added to the show's maturity.
And, speaking of memorable moments, there were some amazing episodes in this series, like Almost Got Him.
Oh, Almost Got Him. That's a classic. Where the villains all get together and swap stories about how they almost defeated Batman.
Yeah, I love that episode.
It was so clever, so well written, and it just gave you this great insight into the villains' minds, their strategies, their frustrations. It was just plain fun, too, seeing them all hanging out, trading war stories.
Oh, totally. It was a great way to showcase the show's range. And then you had episodes like Beware the Gray Ghost.
Oh, yeah. A beautiful tribute to Adam West and the classic Batman series.
It was so heartwarming, seeing Batman basically geek out over his childhood hero.
It showed a deep respect for the history of the character while also forging its own path.
And, we could talk about individual episodes all day, but I think it's important to step back and look at the bigger picture. I mean, this show had a massive impact, not just on animation, but on superhero storytelling in general.
It really did. It launched the entire DC animated universe, which spanned multiple shows and movies, and it set a new standard for storytelling in animation, proving that animation could be for everyone, not just kids.
Exactly. It could tackle mature themes, complex characters, sophisticated storytelling. It elevated the entire genre.
For sure. It showed the world what animation was capable of.
So I guess as we wrap up here, I have a question for our listeners.
Yeah.
What is it about Batman that keeps us coming back, generation after generation? Is it the darkness, the struggle, the constant fight against his inner demons? Or is it something else? Is it that we all have a little bit of Bruce Wayne and Batman inside us trying to figure out who we really are?
That's a great question.
I highly encourage you to check out Batman, the animated series, or revisit it if it's been a while, and see what resonates with you. You might be surprised by what you discover.
It's a timeless classic for a reason.